A lot of us have a love-hate relationship with AI. Maybe you're simultaneously fascinated by all the amazing things AI can do, frustrated with it taking over your Google search results, and even fearful of it replacing your job one day. But in all the buzz about AI, have you ever thought about how AI impacts our planet? Like with everything else AI related, we have to consider the good, the bad, and the unknown. As AI keeps developing, its definition gets harder to pinpoint. But for our purposes, AI, short for artificial intelligence, means technology that lets computers recognize patterns in data to make decisions and predictions on their own, giving computers the amazing power to very quickly perform complicated tasks that, in the past, were only possible with human intelligence. Tech like this is a game changer for monitoring and mitigating climate change. For example, Climate Trace is an AI-powered tool that identifies sources of greenhouse gas emissions all around the world and then tracks them over time. Here's how it works. The team behind Climate Trace measures emissions from a handful of facilities all around the world. But on-the-ground measurements from every facility in the world would be really hard to get. So they train their AI model to estimate those measurements based on a handful of predictors that are a little easier to get, like satellite images of smoke plumes coming from factories. This way, Climate Trace can track emissions from all over the world with amazing efficiency. Anyone can go online and see how any country ranks by total emissions and which industries contribute most, like power grids or transportation, for example. And policymakers are already using this tool to evaluate if industries are self-reporting their emissions accurately and make well-informed plans to reduce harmful emissions going forward. Unfortunately, AI has its own emissions problem. See, training and using AI eats up massive amounts of power. So think about what happens when that power comes from burning fossil fuels. You guessed it, loads and loads of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases accumulate in the atmosphere, trapping in more heat from the sun, leading to more extreme weather events, and threatening people's access to food and fresh water. Climate change in a nutshell. Plenty of data centers, the facilities that make AI work, rely on burning fossil fuels. Case in point, in the state of Virginia, which is the data center hub of the world, 58% of power comes from fossil fuels. And for contrast, in the province of Quebec, less than 1% of power comes from fossil fuels. The other 99% comes from hydro and wind energy. Tech companies like Amazon Web Services and Microsoft and Google's parent company Alphabet aren't very transparent about the precise locations of their data centers, making it impossible to know how much renewable versus non-renewable energy each company uses. What's more, the things AI gets used for can also be directly opposed to climate action. In 2019, ExxonMobil partnered with Microsoft using their AI to optimize mining operations and increase oil production. AI also drives targeted advertising on TikTok, Instagram, and just about everywhere you look online, making us buy loads of stuff we don't really need. Manufacturing and shipping these products all over the world creates more and more emissions, not to mention waste piling up in landfills in the ocean. Whenever that cheap product breaks, or those pants you really want today just go out of style tomorrow. At the end of the day, AI's impact on climate really depends on how it's used. We can all limit our excessive AI use, especially for the most energy-demanding tasks. That includes generative AI chatbots like ChatGPT, and especially image generators like DALL-E. So next time you want to generate an image, whether it's a visual for your new YouTube video, or, I don't know, a phone wallpaper of your dog as a superhero, ask yourself if there are other ways you can get the images you need, or if you really need them at all. But individual AI use is really just one part of the big picture. To reduce emissions from AI, it's more important than ever to support greener, cleaner energy sources. Governments could offer tax incentives to tech companies for building their data centers in places where the power grid is largely powered by renewables, so places like Quebec over places like Virginia. Lawmakers can also impose stricter ethical standards for tech companies so that the ways they use AI cause more good than harm for our climate. As AI becomes a bigger part of all of our lives, we can all be more conscious about how it's being used, for the sake of our planet and everybody on it. Thanks for watching.